At the end of the day, how does your brand make people feel? Are they drawn to it because there's some sort of emotional connection that you were able to tap into? Because again, you are acutely attuned to what their issues are, what their challenges are. Clarifying that positioning and what you want to be known for and keeping it simple down to 1-2 things tops is a huge step forward.
It's the reason that you see like startup founders and just entrepreneurs, innovators build a company in a couple years and then sell it, and then build another company and sell it. Like they essentially, like with their genius and with their mind and even with their passion, they could lead and direct each of those, but they understand that, okay, there's somebody better for this to be the CEO of this company, right? Where my mission, my vision is to start and build. And it might be a lot of different industries. It might be product, it might be SaaS, it might be AI. But their mission and their vision is as a founder, but not as a CEO runner of company, right? And I think it's cool kind of perspective to see that even someone that has, multiple skills in multiple industries, that understanding of I can't spread myself this thin. I need to be this one thing. And so even the perspective of an individual entrepreneur to a company that is really, really, really good at one thing and is known for it. And that's how they grow.
Yeah. And that brings us to kind of the second piece of, being really good at how you position yourself in the market. Don't be everything to everyone. And I think that's exactly what you're speaking to, is like you have to be extremely clear, define and even own the category that you're in, and be clear about the problem that you're solving for, and then wrap and build your identity as a company, as a brand around solving for those problems. And then that's when people start to flock to you.
I agree.
So the third piece of that you always want to keep in mind, and again, you're going to hear us talk a lot about the human element of branding, right? And at the end of the day, how does your brand make people feel? Are they drawn to it because there's some sort of emotional connection that you were able to tap into? Because again, you are acutely attuned to what their issues are, what their challenges are, right? So don't be afraid. We've seen a lot of this as well. Is sometimes people, when you build a brand, they feel the need to be very rigid, corporate, for lack of better words, stale. Like you need to inject as much personality as it makes sense into your brand, as long as it's authentic to who you are and your culture. But you have to tap into like understanding how you're able to make people feel, and being able to tap into that, and the customers and the community that you build is in many ways just kind of a secret sauce that I think sometimes people really just overlook.
Yeah, we say it all the time as we work with customers, is that like humans are who we build products for. Humans are who we communicate with ultimately. Like AI, there are dozens of great AI tools. There are dozens of great products out there that, don't look or feel human, but those things are designed by and for human beings. And so building relationships and starting there and just treating people like people and not assets is such an important thing. And so I know that we come by that philosophy and we operate that way, because ultimately if we can't, from a human perspective, understand who we're working with and their goals and their fears and their passion, then the product, whatever the product is, if it's brand strategy, brand identity design, one little tweak to a logo, no matter like how big or how small it may seem, it's all coming from human perspective, and it's human beings that are interacting with it that matter, right? So I love that point. Being human and acting like a kind human is such a big thing.
Man, it's huge, man. It's huge. I think we just forget it sometimes. We just overlook it, but it's a real thing, and it works. It really works.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Heavy on Brand podcast, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. If you need more information on all things marketing and branding, check us out at thecarbonthread.com. Until next time, stay heavy.